If you recognize this film, then you can see today on my channel, I'm doing something a little different. Hey, hello, and welcome to my channel. As you can see from the title, I'm doing something a little different today. Since I'm actually uploading this on Valentine's Day, I'm going to talk a bit about the 1946 black and white version of Beauty and the Beast by the French director and artist Jean Cocteau. Now, in French, this film is called La Belle et la Bete, but for this video, I'm just going to refer to it as Beauty and the Beast. And yes, I consider this the most beautiful film ever made. So let's get started. Now, if you didn't know, Beauty and the Beast is a French fairy tale from the 1700s, but was also influenced by stories from the ancient world, like the story of Cupid and Psyche. As our story starts, we meet Belle, who lives with her brother and her two mean sisters, and her father, who has apparently lost the family fortune. But he thinks he has a way to get rich again, and so he leaves on his journey with his horse, promising to bring back presents for the family. But kind Belle only wants a rose. But when Belle's father shows up, he finds out the creditors have already taken everything. He has no choice but to ride home through the forest at night. And he gets lost, but then suddenly finds a castle. As he goes inside, he finds candelabra held by real arms that move, and they tell him to sit down. Here he has a strange feast where not only the table comes alive, but also the fireplace has eyes. After dinner, he becomes nervous and decides to leave. But first, he decides to pluck the rose for Belle. But just then, he meets the beast, and the beast says he is stealing roses. He says it was just for his daughter Belle, but the beast lets him leave only if one of his daughters takes his place. When he gets home, he tells Belle he will return to the beast as promised. But Belle decides to go back to the beast in her father's place. And she arrives in the castle, and it's almost a magical place. She literally glides down the hallway at one point. It's a very surrealist fairy tale castle, but when she meets the beast, she literally faints. When Belle wakes up, she finds herself wearing beautiful gowns, but every night she must dine with the beast, who can only watch as she eats. She and the beast have a conversation, the upshot of which is that he has a kind heart, although he looks like a monster on the outside. Later, Belle will see the beast hunting as she sneaks around the castle at night. But things are getting too intense for Belle, and she wants to go see her father. So she asks to leave and promises to come back. But if she doesn't return, the beast will die. He gives her a special key and a magic glove to go see her father and return. And Belle uses the magic glove to travel to her father, who hasn't been well. But her greedy sisters and brother just want the jewels she is wearing, and they have a plan to kill the beast and steal his treasure. Can we also say a word about actress Josette Day here, who really embodies the beautiful and loyal fairy tale princess? Eventually, Belle proves her true heart by returning to the Beast's castle, but she finds him almost dead. As she apologizes to the Beast for being away so long, her brother and his friend sneak into the Beast's garden, but the Beast is dying. As Belle's brother and friend break into the Beast's pavilion, one of them is shot by an arrow from a statue of Diana, and immediately the Beast is transformed into a prince. Belle can't believe it's true, but it seems, since these two have actually fallen in love, that they will literally fly away to his kingdom, and this story will have a happy ending. Now, we should say a word about just how difficult this film was to make, because Jean Cocteau went through many struggles to make it, not least of which was the illnesses and technical difficulties of filming some scenes. Also, this was made at the end of World War II in France, and the country was going through many difficulties. And the actor, Jean Marais, who plays the Beast, had a terrible time with the prosthetic makeup he had to wear as the Beast. He struggled with skin problems because of this makeup, which actually took 3 hours to apply to his face each day, and also each claw took an hour. So this film was quite a labor of love and an artwork they really suffered to bring into being. Of course, just watching this beautiful and dreamlike surrealist fairy tale is enough to know why I think it's the most beautiful film ever made. And another reason is they really don't make films like this anymore. Nowadays, they would just use CGI or something, whereas Jean Cocteau was using practical effects in the 1940s. But there's another reason, and it's the theory that culture has stopped. What do I mean by that? Well, it's the idea that culture has sort of flattened out, quote unquote, in the last 25 years since the internet really started. In other words, if you look at someone who worked in an office 20 years ago and someone who works in an office now, they more or less look the same. The clothes look the same. Did culture stop? Are there less singular and distinctive artists than there used to be? I think so. I don't think this culture now could produce Beauty and the Beast, even if it wanted to. So when I say Beauty and the Beast is the most beautiful film ever made, I don't just mean right now, I mean forever. This will always be the most beautiful film ever made. Well, that's my new video about the great film Beauty and the Beast by Jean Cocteau. I hope you liked it. Of course, I'm going to get back to my usual Kubrick analysis next week, and I'm working on something very cool that I hope you'll check out. Also, I really want to thank my comment section. I love hearing what you have to say. And it would help my channel if you did hit that subscribe button. But either way, my name is Shim. Thank you for spending time with me, and happy Valentine's Day.